Shalom, family. It's good to see everybody here. Hope everybody is doing well. Well, we're going to talk about the Pope. It was about 2 days ago. I saw out in the news that he had pneumonia in both lungs. And yeah, I don't know, but he seems to think he's not going to make it. And he's getting the church ready for his successor. Now, if you remember, I did a live stream back in December, just before Christmas Eve, when it was announced that he was going to be opening up 5 portals starting on Christmas Eve. And I even showed the footage of him being rolled through a door because he was in a wheelchair. He was already not in the best of shape. And that was opening up a portal. And I said, nobody knows how to open up a portal, especially somebody from the Catholic Church. And y'all, I really truly mean what I'm about to say to you. I've been out in the workforce and I worked in IT and I worked with Catholics. And let me tell you something, and this is the truth. I never met one that was nice. Never. Even back in the times when I was naive and had some of them as friends, the ones that were Catholic, I always felt the racism from them. And I always felt they were very unfriendly, not nice at all. I mean, maybe you've come across some that were nice. I never did. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm being for real. The few that I was friends with, they were not Catholics. So there you go. And that is the truth. And the whole institution is tainted, y'all. The whole thing. And it has been. And we know the history. Back during the time, some of you might remember, I was doing videos during the pandemic of how their convents were hit by, C-19 back then. And I had a few of them come in my comment section, I guess calling themselves trying to intimidate me. And they start trying to flood my comment section. Well, the way I fired back, the next day I did the Catholic Church and slavery. Then I did the Catholic Church, the priests in slavery. Then I did the Catholic Church, the nuns in slavery. That's how I fought back, and eventually they disappeared. Eventually they left me alone. See, I guess they didn't know me. When you come and try to tell me I'm unfriendly, I'm racist, I'm this, I'm that, I'm going to stand 10 toes down on your ass and do a verbal assault rifle on your butt. That's what I'm going to do. I am too old to be intimidated by any of you. I've lived way too much life, and I'm not about to go scared now. Ain't gonna happen. So, y'all, let's talk about it. Now, this church has done by far some of the most wickedest things to our people. We have an awful history with the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church were full participants in the biggest human trafficking on the face of the earth called slavery. Not only did they have slaves, they gifted. The popes used to gift slaves to each other and gift slaves to their friends and family. Not only that, they raised all of their money back then through selling and using slaves to build their institutions. Their hospitals were built by slaves. Their schools were built by slaves. All right. Everything. If they were doing anything out here, it was built by slaves. They gave the nod. I think it was Pope Paul III gave the nod and said slavery was fine to do. It was fine to dehumanize a group of people. Not only did they use slavery in the church, they used their money to build up Portugal, Spain, and France. Did y'all know that? The Catholic Church took their money and not only build institutions, they built up countries. They used their money to build countries, mainly Portugal, France, and Spain. That's what they did. So they didn't do any good when it comes down to us, no matter how much they are in Africa and the Caribbean. And yeah, there's many melanated people that are walking around as Catholics. I have one cousin in my family, and for the life of me, I cannot figure out why she is Catholic, but she is. I said, you went from bad to worse. She was in the Baptist church. She decided to leave the Baptist church and become a Catholic, and I'm totally baffled by it. But this is the path that she took. She wants to go on that destruction. That's on her. I love her. She's my cousin, but I definitely don't agree with what she did. So that's on her. That's between her and the Most High at this point. So they think that because they have these sort of followings, it kind of absolves them from the evil they have done, and it does nothing. And no pope has really come out to apologize for all the racism and the hate and the exploitation and the oppression and the inhumane things they did to our people. And this pope is not going to disappoint because he won't be doing it either. Yeah, he's laying there on his way out, but all he's doing is thinking about himself. He don't care about what that church and all the harm it has done to us at all. Could care less. So, I would think Christ on earth, isn't that what he was supposed to represent? I would think Christ on earth would be in better shape than him. He's been in that wheelchair for quite a few years now, hasn't he? It's been I've seen him in that wheelchair even 5 years ago. So, he did pretty much followed the same paths as the popes did before him. They don't really change or deviate from that mess at all. But the bottom line is the Catholic Church, y'all got a very bloody history. Very bloody history. So, what do I think about this whole thing? I think it signifies the end for this church. It doesn't matter who picks up the reins after he's gone. This church is pretty much done, y'all. They've been losing membership for many years, and I that's what I see it in this time, in this place that we're in. It signifies the end. It really does. Look at the monarchy over there in the UK. After Queen Elizabeth reigned for 70 years and she's gone, it is nothing like it was before. It really ended with her. It is nothing like it was before. Charles is very hated over there. People don't like Charles. They halfway liked his mother, but Charles, you can tell the monarchy don't even have the same power that it used to have. And I was looking at they said the tourism is way down whenever they have any type of public things, like trooping of the color and stuff like that. Hardly nobody shows up now. When Queen Elizabeth was alive, she would, it would still draw a big crowd, but shoot, you can't even with old ugly Camilla and Charles, they can't draw flies, y'all. When you look over there at all the stuff going, they can't draw flies for real. So, wow, I mean, it sure didn't take the Most High long to get around to this Pope, did it? He opened the portal and that's all she wrote. It wasn't even 2 months later, and look at what's happening to him. It says it all. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. These things that were once big are not big at all. Look, I mean, look at everything. Everything is falling apart. You got right now we're dealing with all these folks that are lying about the history. I saw another video this morning of some Mexican woman, a different one, claiming they did so many things for us. I was like, y'all need to I said, that's why y'all are under judgment because you ain't nothing but a bunch of liars. You're just all proving yourselves to be big liars. You know damn well nobody from Mexico has done a lot for black people here in America. Y'all need to go sit down, stop lying all over the video. That's why your asses are under judgment now and you're being kicked out of this country and going back to your home country where you don't even want to be. You're crying. But you have a love for your home country, but the thought of going back there makes you cry. Get your butts out of here. Stop lying all over the video because you're just making your judgment worse. Y'all ain't done crap for us. And look at this, y'all. They're a bunch of Catholics. Okay. Didn't I tell you these Catholics are insane? Look, they lying, trying to talk like they've done so many great things for Black Americans and the slaves. Y'all done nothing of the such kind. You ain't never done nothing for us. But get on videos lying. And yeah, see, y'all, this is what the Catholic Church turns out. A bunch of liars from South America. Go home. If you want to do something for us, take your ass home. That's what you do. Take your ass home. Go home. Y'all ain't do crap for us. Take your funny looking ass and go home. Go home. Everything's for look, the Catholic uh, praising the Catholic Church, they're falling apart and the Pope is falling apart. Enough said. Enough said. So, y'all, I just wanted to update you on what the Pope is saying. Let me get to this article because I know it probably have more things in here. Hold on one second, y'all, and see what's coming out of Rome because he's in a hospital in Rome right now, and we know all about Rome, don't we? We know all about Rome. All right, so let's get to this. All right. So Pope Francis is seriously worried about his health and being hospitalized with severe bronchitis. And he is trying to rush and tie up loose ends ahead of which he feels is the end. Now, not only does he have severe bronchitis, he's got pneumonia in both lungs. He was admitted to a special ward earlier this month at Gemelli Hospital in Rome with a respiratory infection. He has since been forced to cancel a number of public appearances. And, he's an old man, he's 88 years old. Um, and they said part of his lung was removed when he was a young man and has become increasingly fragile in recent years. So, wow. They said his bronchitis actually became advanced. So, according to two people familiar with Pope Francis, he's been suffering in intense pain and has privately expressed that he won't make it this time. On Sunday, doctors over at Gemelli Hospital said the distressed Pope is barring him from delivering his regular morning sermon. So the doctors are advising against him doing his regular morning sermons, which he has rarely missed, even when hospitalized, said one of the people in a third person. He is now acting entirely on doctor's orders. So he's not even giving his morning sermons. What, y'all don't appoint someone else to do the sermons if something happens to the Pope? Y'all operate like that? So if the Pope is down, no sermon is done? That seems very odd. Y'all seem to have a lot of people up there at the Vatican. I'm just saying, aren't y'all bishops and all that up there? Okay, whatever. Then again, I don't really care what y'all do. So anyway, the Pope initially resisted going to the hospital, but was told in no uncertain terms that he was at risk of, being unalive from going. So they said for a while he did stay in his room at the Vatican. As his health started deteriorating over the last month, Francis also moved to complete key initiatives and appoint sympathetic figures to key posts. So he's trying to get everything in order before he goes. So since he became Pope in 2013, Francis has aimed to make the church more inclusive. What inclusive mean he brought in LGBT into the Catholic Church. Okay. So I guess that's what they call inclusive. While he has provoked furious reactions from many conservatives, liberals, and complain that the reforms have been insufficient. Meanwhile, the Pope's efforts to put an end to rampant child abuse by clerics produce mixed results. That's because y'all don't really go to jail for that. You could probably count on one hand how many of the priests they put behind bars. They won't do that to each other, and this is what happens when people are placed above the law. And we see this even with Elon and Donald Trump. Y'all place certain men above the law, and you've done it in this Catholic Church as well. So on February 6th, before he was hospitalized, he extended the term of Italian Cardinal Giovanni Battista. So he is the Dean of College of Cardinals. A role will oversee some preparations for a potential conclave, the secretive gathering that determines the selection of a new pope. The move, which controversy, like it sidesteps a scheduled vote on the next dean by top officials. So, yeah, well, I mean, he can appoint a successor, if that's what he wished to do. So, a longtime Vatican operator, is too old to participate in the conclave himself. Nevertheless, he will be a pivotal figure in the behind closed doors decision that often take place before the conclave. That Francis selected him as dean instead of a younger candidate suggests he wanted to keep a friendly face in the role who would defend his legacy, said one of the people. Friendly face? Y'all jacked up mugs ain't no friendly face. What you talking about? Oh man, friendly face or whatever. Friendly face. These people are a joke. Mm-mm-mm. So, y'all, it looks like it may be the beginning of the end for the Pope. So, I look, their time got to end somewhere along the line. It's no time like the present. And it seems like the Pope wants some other old man to fill his shoes. And they may actually pick someone younger. But who cares? I mean, look, the institution will never, ever be good as long as they have slavery in their background. And it's another institution that owes us reparations. Do they not? Yeah, they do. It's another institution that owes us reparations. Period. It's another institution hiding a lot of our stuff under that Vatican, where they say 53 miles of our information is down there under the Vatican. Everything, books, artifacts, all kinds of things. They got hidden under there. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, and this Pope, he knows who we are. He prays to you. There are all kinds of pictures of him praying to Black Madonna, and baby Jesus, right? So he knows who we are. This man is fully aware of the entire history of the Catholic Church. Yeah, give us our stuff back and pay what you owe because y'all seriously owe reparations. So, y'all, thank you for coming. I deeply appreciate it. And we'll definitely come back together again on a different topic. Hopefully, sometime this evening, I might be doing another one. There are a few different stories that I'm looking at. So, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your afternoon and just be on the lookout for another live. Shalom, family.